Hello, it's Gayle Palmer here from the Living Elements Clinic. Today's topic is about helping people release entities and spirits from themselves. It can be called PsychoPomp work. It's a weird word, I know. But there are two varieties of entities which can cause us problems. Not everyone has an entity, thank goodness, or a spirit who lives in them, with them. But you often note that they are there even when you are feeling fine and strong and in your power. Spirits can be present when they have failed to pass over into their next life fully. So they are stuck in limbo between our living world, our 3D world as we know it, and the next life. And it's like they can't go forward and they can't go back. They didn't transition properly. And having them within you can be okay, but can also cause conflict, as you can imagine. How do you know you've got a spirit present in you? Or in your house, perhaps? Sometimes people feel footsteps, or they have a familiar scent of a relative or someone else. So you can suddenly, in a particular area of your house, feel someone's been smoking, or you can get a sense of perfume, or you have unexplained events happening. Poltergeists are probably the most noticeable one for that. Poltergeists tend to be rather active. They throw things around. You might have unexplained voices that either feel outside of you or you hear in your head, but there's no one there. Children are particularly sensitive to spirits, and you often find that they are talking to spirits as though they were a friend. It's not them being crazy and necessarily making up imaginary friends. Sometimes they are literally talking to spirits. Along with that, particularly if you notice them when you're in your sleep, you can get a degree of sleep paralysis. You can have odd mood changes if they are around. But the spirits themselves are stuck in a loop that they can't get out of. They can be attached to a specific space. So they might be in a particular corridor, and they don't have a sense of time. So they can be there for hundreds and hundreds of years, or they can be quite new, quite brief in their visitation. They might have you might have a feeling like you get a sense of a presence with you. They can be helped to pass over using some quite simple shamanic techniques. It often involves a degree of hypnosis and a gentle ceremony, and they can be helped to pass over from their stuck world in our 3D world, which isn't whole and complete, into their next full transition into the higher world. So if you feel that you have got spirits around you, there's perhaps a heaviness in a particular space, then having a PsychoPomp ceremony may make a massive difference, not only to you, so that you don't notice them any longer, because they have passed over and transitioned into their next space, into their next life. I know this might sound quite mad to some people, but if you've ever been in that situation and you've helped a spirit move over, you will know A, how rewarding it is, B, how reassuring it is for yourself that they're no longer there. And the actual ceremony itself doesn't necessarily take very long to do. In fact, you might be quite surprised at how quickly things can change. But not every presence that you have is a spirit, a past human or past animal spirit, or soul, if you like. Some of them can be an entity. It's like an energy body. They can be caused from long-standing fear or trauma. They can be born out of a ritual, like a spell work. They can often be caused as a result of an addiction or an energetic instability. And this is where I find them most commonly with my own clients. Some can be very ancient and still be quite unbound to the earth, like quite raw. And they can be parasitic, and I find that particularly with those who have addictive issues. They tend to cause you a sense of deep unease. Counselling and other techniques will make absolutely no difference whatsoever. The entities can be quite manipulative, malignant, I think is probably a better word, and can literally take the person over emotionally really quickly, with high shifts in energy and emotion, or even cause illnesses really suddenly for no apparent reason. As a result of which I always think of them as, they're not necessarily evil. I think that's the other thing that people think, oh, you've got an entity, it's got to be evil. No, they're not necessarily evil, but they have a desire to have their own way. They have a desire to use your energy, use your soul for their own purposes. They're not necessarily very nice. But the good news is they are never as powerful as you are as a human being, because they can't feel, they can't express, they're not alive. They're just not alive. So once they are contained and removed from the person who is acting as a portal for them and put into a different realm, that person is cleansed. You can call back your own energy, which is amazing, and you can start to create your life without these attachments to you, which aren't very helpful. So it's a very powerful ceremony, a PsychoPomp ceremony to go through. It's unique for every person, and it will be tailor-made specifically for you. So if you think you've got an extra person living with you, an entity or a spirit, and you don't want to have them there, then get in touch. It's one of my shamanic services, and I will have a conversation with you and we can go from there. That's Gayle Palmer at the Living Elements Clinic, where your health is my priority. Take care now.